there. I'm Ellen Johnson, and I'm the owner of Serendipity Needleworks and the founder of the Stitchers Club. I'm delighted to have you here with me this afternoon for another episode of Needlepoint TV. So if you'll do me a favor, go ahead and type in where you're watching from and give me a thumbs up if you can see me and hear me okay, because as you know, we need to make sure that this technology is working like it's supposed to. So I will wait just a second to see that everything's working okay. Y'all know there's just a little bit of a delay between when you type in something and hit enter. All right, I see a thumbs up, so it looks like we're good to go. All right, so if you haven't already been over to the Serendipity Needleworks website today, we do have a brand new blog post there, and it's all about destashing and organizing your needlepoint supplies. So before we dive into that topic, let's take a peek and see who's with us. So good deal. So we've got Alice and Susan and Susie and Elle and Linda. So it's great to have all of you here with me today. I appreciate you popping in to say hello. If you're watching this as a recording, please also tell me where you're watching from, because I do try to hop in and answer questions that pop in or pop up rather in the comments even after the live recording has ended. So I always like to see who's with me and who's watching and where you are. So here we go. Let's see, we've got Nan and Gwen and Bev. So great. Good to see everybody. So, and there's Gina. Okay, boy, we've got people from all over the place. This is awesome. So, how many of you have more stash than you think you'll ever get to? I think they call it, wait a minute, Sable stash accumulation beyond life expectancy is what I think they call it. I know I do. And I decided that this week might be a good time to just go ahead and talk about that a little bit to, because, hey, we're all spending more time at home these days. And there's no time like the present to just dive right into that project and see what we can do to maybe spread the love or share the love a little bit with some other folks. I know that's what I'm planning to do. I have quite a collection of canvases and threads that I've accumulated over the years. And when I closed my store 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, there were some things that I said, ooh, I think I just need that. I think I need to take it home with me. I sold virtually everything, but there were some things that I just had to have for myself. So those came home with me. And now that it's been 3 years, there are some of those things that just don't hold quite the same temptation to me that they did at one point. So I don't know if you're like me, that happens. What I loved 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago may not be something that I love today. So it's time for me to go through and see what I can do about getting rid of some of those things that no longer spark joy. Now, if you ever read Marie Kondo's book, The Life-Changing, I think it's Magic of Tidying Up, then you know what I'm talking about when I say I'm going to KonMari my stash. That means I'm going to go through and I'm going to basically hold in my hand, look at it carefully, and decide whether or not it's something that still truly brings me joy. If it does, then I'm going to keep it. If it doesn't, then it's going to go in another stack. So we're going to have 2 stacks of stuff. And I mentioned this over in the blog post. Let me actually go over to the website so I can share it with you in case you haven't had a chance to see it yet. I love William Morris too. So I'm a huge Marie Kondo fan, but I'm also a really big William Morris fan. And so you can see here, let's see, we are going to cancel that. So you can see here that I have this is the blog post, and there's good old William Morris. He has that quote, "Have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful." I absolutely love that quote, and it's something that I would dearly love to say that I live by. But at this point, I can't, because I have so many things in my house that need to be gone through, sorted through, and I need to decide just exactly where they're going to go. Those that I don't want to keep, where those are going to go live. So I'm going to quickly take a peek back up here through the comments and see what all people have to say. So let's see. We have, if anybody had, okay, so Elle says, oh yeah, I think she must be talking to me in regard to the fact that she has a stash far beyond her life expectancy. Yep. Linda says she has a sack with the threads and a tin can with threads too. I understand. And Janet says she's too embarrassed to mention. So I get it. Truly, I do. And Gina, I love the book too. It's a quick read for those of you who haven't read it before. Let me pop back over here and get back on camera with you so that I can see you. So the book is truly a quick read, and it's an easy read too. In fact, it's quite interesting. So like I said, if you haven't read it yet, I would highly recommend it. I do have a link to Marie Kondo's website on this week's blog post, so you can just click there, and I think she sells the book off of her website if you don't have a copy, or I'm sure it's in your local library too if your libraries are open at this point. I think ours have opened back up part-time. So all right, so let's see. And Natasha says, if I have any peacock canvases, you know, it's funny you should say that. I am a huge peacock fan too. So if I have any, I'm afraid they're going to be staying in my stash. But, you know, that's something that I love the colors on peacocks. I think they're just beautiful birds. So, but I will, and well, let me look here too. Natasha loves William Morris just like I do. And yes, Beth Russell did do a beautiful canvas with that quote on it, with that William Morris quote on it. So what I've done over on the blog post is to share the different tips that I'm giving you to help you get started on destashing. So you can just go through those and, you know, apply them to your particular situation. And you'll see that I have all kinds of different things. The last one, though, I want to share with you, well, a couple of things. One thing is that I'm actually going to be doing some, I have a little Etsy store over on Etsy, and I'll be posting some canvases there that I'm going to, and there will probably be some threads too, although as I mentioned in this blog post, I am a thread aficionado. I love my threads. So there probably won't be as many threads as there will be canvases, but I will be putting some canvases up, I know for sure, over there. And so you just click on that link and it'll take you to that particular spot on Etsy. And there is also a company that I've used in the past called Cash Your Stash. And Gail Abelman is the lady that owns that company. So a couple of things to keep in mind. Well, and let me get back on camera again now. So a couple of things to keep in mind. If you have some canvases, if you go through this process of KonMariing your stash, then you have a stack of things that you want to get rid of, then you can definitely use Gail's services. She does take a commission, but all you do is ship it to her and she takes care of the rest, and then she'll send you a check on a monthly basis as things sell. There are Facebook groups that you can sell your things through, and if you want to go to the I won't say, maybe trouble's not the right word, but if you want to go through the process of taking the photographs and doing all the measuring and everything, then you can definitely use those Facebook groups. I know that there's one called, wait a minute, let me see if it is. All right, so Gina says she's looking for North American songbirds. I love songbirds. So I don't know if I have any in my stash, but I do know that Gail sells the things that she sells on eBay. So she has, I would suggest checking out her eBay store that she has. And then there's also, I wish I could think of the name of that, Needlepoint Nation Stash Exchange. That's it. So Needlepoint Nation Stash Exchange is a place for you to, I think it's a free Facebook group, and you can go there and you can post canvases for sale. And there are canvases that are for sale that you can buy yourself. So Natasha says she's addicted to needlepointdestashing.com. So those are a couple of places for you. The blog post, Elle, is on the Serendipity Needleworks website. So if you're interested, let me just hop up here and let's see. Here we go. I'll just put the link to the blog post in the chat box. So there you go. That's where well, I think it's going to pop up there. There it is. Okay, so yes, you can go to the website using that link and read the blog post. So Sherry says she always bought canvases that she thought her grandchildren would like, many that they've outgrown, and she had them go through them a couple of years ago to see what they would like her to do, and most of them got a no. Uh-oh. I can understand how that would happen. I have canvases that I intended to stitch for Rebecca when she was little, and oh well, and maybe for grandchildren one day. And so, they are, you just don't have time. There's not enough time in the day to get everything done that you would like to do. And like I said, sometimes canvases just lose their appeal over time. So those are just some different ways. You can also, as Susie suggested, you can donate canvases if you'd like to do that. There are probably plenty of charities that would be happy to take those things. There's a place here in Tuscaloosa called Focus on Senior Citizens, and they are more than happy to take craft supplies. And the people that go to the Focus on Senior Citizens facility will work on those projects, and then they sell the finished things in their gift shop, and the sales of those things help support the projects and programs that they have for the senior citizens in our community. So there may be something like that in your community, and I would suggest that perhaps you check into that too if you're more interested in just donating rather than trying to recoup some of the investment that you have in the pieces that you've collected but no longer want to stitch. So they also, let's see, oh yeah, Nan said Labors of Love has tons of songbirds, and that's true. No, this is not helping do much destashing, but after you go through your stash and clear things out, sort things, and get them all organized like you want them, then perhaps you can go and find something that you'd like to add to your collection. I know one of the things that's the most difficult to me to organize is threads, and that's actually an entire topic unto itself. Right now I have my threads organized by color. That's the way I prefer to organize those. And then within color, they're organized by type, so fiber type. So in other words, all the yellow silk is together, all the yellow cotton is together, all the yellow wool is together, all the novelty yellow threads are together, all of the metallic yellow threads are together. So I keep all of mine organized that way. And then, and that makes it easy so that when I go to a box and need to get a yellow silk thread, then I know that, all I have to do is find the bundle of silk threads, and then, I go from there. I don't have everything on a spreadsheet. I know that some people do that. I just never have taken the time to sit down and do it. I'm sure it would be tremendously helpful because I have purchased multiples of the same thread, but that's just part of it. If that's just a price I'm willing to pay because I don't have a local shop in my hometown. I have to go to Birmingham, which is an hour away. And so and it would help me if I did have a spreadsheet, if I took the time to sit down and do a spreadsheet of all the different threads that I have. I haven't done it, but I would rather have 2 skeins of something than no skeins of something and be an hour away from a store. Actually 2, because by the time you go and then come back, you've spent 2 hours, not to mention the time you spend while you're there. So, and I'm lucky enough to live just an hour from a shop. I know some of you don't live that close to one. So, it's just a matter of what your schedule permits and perhaps what your priorities are. But I do try to organize my threads by color family. I find that the easiest way for me, but there are other ways that you can organize threads. You can organize them by manufacturer. You could organize them by type, like I suggested. Within color families, I organize them by the type, the fiber content. You could do all of your threads by fiber content. Put all of your all of your silks together, all of your wools, all of your cottons, all of your other different types of fibers together, and then do that. But it's personal preference. I do have a Pinterest account. Serendipity Needleworks has a Pinterest page, and on the Pinterest page we have a board that's called Let's Get Organized, I think is the name of it. So there are also some different things that you might find there that will help you in keeping your things organized once you've sorted through them, some different cabinets and some different suggestions for ways to organize your threads. So there's a link for that inside of the blog posts for today too. So I would highly recommend that you check out that Pinterest board. But the main thing to do is to hop over to the blog and read today's post, and then you can click the links and go to those different things from the Serendipity Needleworks website. So Joyce says, what do you keep your threads in once they're organized? That depends on whether or not they've been opened. So if the threads have been opened, if a thread has been opened, if it's on a card, or it doesn't matter if it's on a card, or, and you see me looking around here, I'm looking to see if I have and I have a link to these. In fact, let me just do this. I will go back to the blog post and we'll take a peek. I'll show you where the, let me see where it is. All right, threads here. Nope, that's not it. Let's see. Well, darn. I know it's on here. I love to keep my threads in wait a minute, let me think. I can't do two things at once. And I don't see it. Maybe I've edited it out. Oh dear, that's not a good thing. Floss away bags. So what I like to do, let me go back here and see if I can find the floss away bags. The floss away bags are the way that I like to keep my threads that have been opened organized. And the reason I do that is because you can put skeins of thread that have been either rolled into a ball, or you can put skeins of thread that have been cut. You can also put a card in a floss away bag. They're really handy little gadgets. So let me share that with you now. I did pull it up. You can get these on Amazon, so you can see here, this is a floss away bag. And I don't know. No, they don't have a really good picture of it, but what you can kind of see here that this particular option. I don't know if I can, let me see what happens when I click on that. Well, nothing, I guess. So basically it's a plastic bag with a zipper, a Ziploc closing. And what it does is it's got a little hole in it. You can kind of see from this picture. You put the floss in there, and then you can put it on a ring, so you can keep your different kinds together. So if you have, say, 5 different yellow silks, then you can put all of the yellow silks on a ring. And so I put each thread in its own bag. And if I have multiples of the same thread, say for example, I bought 5 or 6 skeins of Vineyard Merino in the color Latte, because I use that a lot for the backgrounds on belts. Say I have 5 skeins won't fit in a floss away bag. So what I'll do in that case is I'll put those in the small snack bags from I can't remember if they're Glad or who, but anyway, it's the zipper top ones. I like the zipper top ones better. I keep the multiple skeins of the same dye light in their own little pouch, because then that way I know that it's easy for me to just take a quick look and see if I have what I'm looking for. So let's see. Sherry says she checks off the colors she has on inventory or price sheets. Then she knows what she's missing to fill in color families when she goes to buy more thread. And yes, she also uses floss away bags on rings. So that's a great idea, Sherry. You can get those, you can download those inventory sheets from a variety of different sources. Not everybody has them, but most companies do. And I'm not sure if Rainbow Gallery does or not. That's a good question. I know I have one. I have an order form, but that's from a retail store standpoint. So I don't know if they have those available for everybody or not. But that's a really good way to keep up with those, because for sure, if you check off what you have, then you know what you don't have. And if you need it, then you can add it to your collection and then mark it off on the sheet as well. So that's a great way to keep up with it, rather than having to do a full spreadsheet on a computer, because that would take a long time. There's some people that do that, I know, but I've just never taken the time to do it. So, all right. So yes, that's what I do. If the thread has not been opened, at this point, I don't have everything that has not been opened into a floss away bag. I'm working toward that. That's my goal, so that then all of the threads that are the novelty threads will be in their own floss away bag, and then they would be on a big ring. And then the threads that are, how am I going to say this? All of the yellow silk threads that are, say maybe of a kind, would be on, like, so maybe for example, I have 5 different colors of splendor, yellow splendor, and 5 different colors of yellow vineyard silk. Well, what I would do in that case, and this is getting really specific, this is my goal. I haven't gotten there yet, but my goal is to put those yellow silks from one company on a small ring, and then the yellow silks from another company on a small ring, but then put the bigger ring, the smaller rings on bigger rings. And then, or you could do it just by manufacturers. Say have a ring for the bigger rings that you can get at office supply stores. Have a bigger ring for Rainbow Gallery threads and a bigger ring for Vineyard silk, or, well, that's the only silk thread they have, I think. But so for example, Planet Earth, they make Pepper Pot and Planet Earth silk. So you might have a big Planet Earth ring, or you might do a ring just for Pepper Pot and a ring just for Planet Earth silk. It's whatever works best for you. But then I keep all of those rings in a color box. So there's a box for yellow thread, and I do it by the color wheel. So there's yellow, orange, yellow, and then red. Wait a minute, yellow, orange, yellow. It goes orange, yellow, yellow, green, green. So it goes through like that. They're 12. Basically 12 colors, not counting the neutrals like black and brown and all those. So they're basically 12 colors that I have boxes of thread for, and then the neutrals are a whole different animal. So that's how I organize those. All right. So let's see. Natasha says she's made shareable databases for thread. Oh, wow. That's terrific. I love that. That's a great resource to have. So congratulations on getting that done. I admire you for that. That was quite an undertaking. Teresa wants to know, how do you store the rings? I keep them in the boxes. They're going to, they are a little bulky, but that's just been the best way to me to keep them organized. It's what works best for me. It's not necessarily what's going to work best for everybody, but that's what works best for me. So there are all kinds of different ways to organize them. I mean, there are different kinds of boxes, clear plastic boxes of different sizes that you can organize your threads in. It's just entirely up to you. Whatever kind of space you have to really look at the space you have that you can commit to that, and then decide, what your priorities are and how you want to be able to get to those. And there are all kinds of different options. I mean, they make cabinets, and these are some of the things that you'll see over on the Pinterest board that we have for organizing your stash. There are different cabinets there that you could use to organize just your threads. So all kinds of different options. And I do think that there are probably truly no two people who organize their threads exactly the same way. It's to each his own, and just whatever works best for you. So, should the thread not be directly on the rings? I don't put the threads directly on the rings. I put them in the Ziploc bags because I like things to be uniform. I guess you could put the threads directly on the rings if you wanted to. That's up to you. You definitely can do whatever works best for you, Susie. That's the beauty of our hobby, and just in general, you can do whatever floats your boat. That's what you should do. So, all right. Anybody else have any questions about anything when it comes to organization? Because we are coming up quickly on our 3:30 time. And so Natasha has one more comment. She says she makes thread hangers that go in a filing cabinet. So yes, you can definitely do that too. And there are some of those that are over on the Pinterest board that we have called Let's Get Organized on the Serendipity Needleworks Pinterest page. So you might check those out. There are some different resources there too that you can use filing cabinets and file boxes. Some different ways that you can organize your threads using those different resources as well. All right. Well, y'all, I appreciate you being here with me this afternoon. Obviously, this is a topic that we could talk about for hours and hours, and a lot of people have different suggestions and ideas about ways to do things. So I invite you to share those here with us on the Serendipity Needleworks Facebook page. If you are watching this as a recording, please include your thoughts for us as well, and tell us where you're watching from, because it's always great fun for me to see that. I'll do my best to pop back over and answer questions as they pop up. And I hope you have a terrific rest of your day. Thanks for joining me. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye for now.